here we are once more. I'll just make the adjustments in the adjustments. Pop in a message. And here we are. Oh. And I'm going to start with the usual obligatory drink, because it's quite a warm day. It's been quite nice. And it is time to move on to something new. Hello there, Star. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Working and lurking as usual. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Right. So, I will cover the fact that the last build was finito, and I will sort out a quick. I'm going to be doing a video, but we're now underneath this piece of wood at the minute. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's exactly that. It's a piece of wood. At the minute, it is anyway. But to get things started off, so people had an idea of what's going on, I got the center point. Here, I will move my character out of the way, and I'll go into build camera, and hopefully the current glitch that's returned won't be a pain in the backside. I'll pull back, and you can see the nice shape. So, as I mentioned at the end of the last one, you start with your circle, except you don't make a circle. And you work out what your shape is wanting to be. This is obviously the angle I'm wanting to build off at. And I've left this piece here just so you can see. You drop a half short wall, puts you to the middle. So obviously that there is the very center of the circle point, and then you run off as far as you need to go, and then we've got wangles and dangles to do at the back, because we end up with another circle point, because it's not a 45 degree, but it is angled. It's not a flat back end on one of these. For those who haven't already worked out, it's an Imperial Star Destroyer. That's no moon. So yeah, we had to do another one at the back, because it's not 45 degrees. We kind of cut it in half, so it just sticks out that bit that you get on the thing. And before I start angling the panels, because I did a little bit of checking out the back. This is obviously, it's going to be scaled, but it's not going to be to full size, because that would be too big. It's easy enough to get that there, and once we've got the up and the down partly done, we then have a ridge that runs over the top and over the bottom, and that's where this comes in, right here. So if you can imagine, this point here is basically the center of your circle, like there is there. I'm going to have fun trying to do the point, trying to squidge stuff into place. But this is how you do the angle of dangle, right here. So it's basically just like the center of the circle, but at 90 degrees. So now we have to work out at what angle of shape we're going to have the sides. Those pieces I've got in there, as you can see, do not match up. They were just guidance pieces. So technically all of those can be removed. But we'll start here, since we've got these pieces here. And we're going to do the recess down the side as well. So this bit here that comes out, in fact, if I drop it to the bottom edge, like so, for safety I'm going to pull that right back out there so it's out of the way. Ooh, fingers are failing already. That's a good start to the day, isn't it? That really is. Yeah. Wow. Good morning, fingers. Right, so this is obviously the bottom edge, and it's going to slope down. So we're going to up the edge. Then we need to leave a gap of however tall we're going to have it. Probably, I think because I'm going to recess the floor panel behind it, I'll probably only do it too high. Like I said, it's a very small Star Destroyer. Well, maybe a moon Destroyer is more appropriate because it's not going to be that big. But yeah, so if that's going to be our gap, and we're going to recess on this side, so here somewhere, where the cursor is in the center, is where we're going to have a vertical floor reset back off the sides. Because obviously if I grab a floor panel, you can see the size difference. It's a little taller than two walls, so by setting it a little bit further back, it gives us the recess that we need. Just leave that there as a guide. So now we need to work out our angles of dangles. Is it a 1 or is it a 2? That is the question. This is roughly what I was working out here. I think that's a 1. So we'll pop that up to there. That's a straight line. Put that to there. That still doesn't feel like that's going to give us enough, but we will find out. I will get rid of that. Simple retexture. Then we go over to our nice and shiny. Is that the right angle? Yeah, that's the right angle. We're going to take a similar angle over the top. Now, obviously, we will be having to do along there to work out the thing. So what we're going to do, which is also going to help us. I really don't know how many parts this is going to have, but it's going to be a lot. I mean, this gives us our nice clean edge along here. Because like I say, if I go underneath, you'll see that that one there is then actually over the line where we need. So we will be turning. Oh, that front's going to be made out of so many little pieces just to get it sorted. That's going to stick over. That's about halfway. Oop. This is the bit that makes it look like it's easy, because you're literally just snapping large sections in. I hadn't thought about keeping a parts count, but I mean, funny enough that they never added a part counter to the build computer. Because the one thing that gets me is they do actually keep count, because it'll tell you, oh, you can only build so many more, or all of a sudden you can't upload this anymore. So they do count how many parts you've got. They don't display it though. So I do think, even if it was like a negative count, so it like showed you how many more you've got until you run out of parts. But I mean, hey, we're 9 years into the game now, so... And Sean doesn't listen to me. He's too busy. He's a busy man. Oh dear. Right, so that's that piece already. I mean, that's how you do the quick bit. So now what I do, if I run across to the other side here, put myself closer into where we're going. That was my old guide thing off of approximate size before I actually did the whole bit about where I was basing my parts on. Let's remove you. I'll merge it probably somewhere along the halfway mark. So it's that way it becomes relatively neat and tidy. Right. Having the backup lines also helps. Because as we all know, we all make mistakes. Or in the words of Bob Ross, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Or in my case, infuriating motherfucking cunty little bastards that get in the way. Wow, that didn't take long, did it? Shit, 12 minutes in. Oh dear me. Right. You can see we've got robots on this planet. Walking giant ass robots. Come on. Ooh. I mean, the interesting bit I think here is going to be when we get to the bridge, which is a very large standing structure near the back. So, right, so there you go. You can see we're there. So at the minute, I am going to extend. So you see that's not good enough, but we're going to tidy that. But we're going to use that so we can get the gauge of where we're then coming from the tip, which is that point there. So, Joyroth, welcome sir, how are you today? You've turned up to see how badly I'm going to mess up a Star Destroyer, or a Moon Destroyer as I'm going to be calling it. Because it's, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, spin the camera view around. So, we've got a straight view. How far are we going to need to tip this from there? Will it be 1 is the question. Because I also need to... No, I need the half. Then I need that. Is 1 going to be enough? Actually, it might have to be shallower than that, mightn't it? It might indeedly doodles be... Yeah. Right, so I will use one of the wooden panels Yeah, it needs to be shallower, you see, because you can see where the there you go, the light's catching it. You can see where the line is that's there. That's the line I need to go at, and that's already dropped it too low. So I'll try to do this without deleting any of the wires, because we've had that fun before. Right, 1, 2, 3. I tell you what, I'll put a safety wire when my fingers work. There you go. Put a safety wire up to there. Oh, how far back is this going to have to go? If I felt very math related, I would probably do a proper calculation, but I'm not today, so. Right. I should have also deleted the that board. Right. That's inside there. No, you see that shouldn't be coming through at that point. It needs to. Why is that not quite there? Because this gap that runs down here, it's meant to run from there. This is going to be a fun point. Well, anyway, you get the idea. But I will work out the angle once I've got a few more of these panels down, so I'm not going to land on my arse every 5 seconds. Because if you're anything like me, I know you're going to end up landing, you're going to step off and you go, oh, I'm alright, I'm on the, and then you're like, fall to your doom, sort of thing. Always fun, worth the effort. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you don't spend the time trying to calculate some of the more complex bits, then it can mess up. And obviously, I want to keep it simple, but I want it to look good. So I mean, getting the angle set for the top and bottom is important, because everything, it doesn't look right otherwise. Right, I will come back down to this corner, because I was on about the angles. So I try to remember which button is the sprint button, because of course, yes, I always remember without worrying about that. So like I say, again, on this last panel, which is here, so I mean that should technically have that there. So this is like the back of the ship. Now, as we know, the back of the ship is not perfectly flat, it's at an angle. And this one here gives you your idea of that. And your 45 degrees yeah, hang on a minute, I need to get that just lined up if I can do it. There you go. So, look at that one. So that's your 45 degrees. That's your flat back. But that's where we want it, because obviously that one's going to end up a long way out there. I mean, this one's still going to end up a long way. I might, if it looks a little off, I might bring it in again. and cut it in half, make it 12.5 degrees. If, in fact, let's have a look. How far out does it go? So it comes out to there. That's not actually that bad considering the size of the ship. Really, that's not that bad. Yeah. Right. But I mean, I've just realised I killed my view when I didn't mean to. So basically, you've got your circle, you're making your bits of circle, and then when you find, because I mean, if you, this one here is the one that's at 45 degrees to the line you're building on, and by putting that there and going to the one that's 45 degrees there, and then bringing that line back to the center of that halves it and gives you the angle that you need to put down the floor to then get that particular piece. Just in case you're wondering. That's why those pieces are red, just to like give you an idea. I could actually demonstrate that by going to the far side and remembering I must press the button for sprint instead of pressing the wrong button all the time. Oops, just stand on here. So out of the way. So again, I'm just giving myself some extra space. That's typical that nighttime falls. I mean, that's just what you need, isn't it? You know, hey, yeah, look, it's nighttime. Hey. Not like we're doing anything. No one's watching, so, you know. Oh, fingers. Come on. Right. So, that is our centerpiece. Have I done the centerpiece? No, yes, because I need to do the twizzle whizzle on the thing, don't I? Have I positioned that in the right place or the wrong place? It's halfway across, isn't it? Yes, it's halfway across. That's it. It is the center of the center, not the half of the bits. Way! Let's not fall off the side of there. That was silly. Right. So, we need to get rid of those two so we can see what we're doing. We need that half wall. Oh, come on, fingers. Right, so there we go. So now we can take away that. Come on. There we go. Oh, now I've got to try to remember how to get everything done. So by going there to there, no, hang on. There we go. And then I need to go. That's just a test that. That's just a test line, isn't it? No, actually, right, I can get rid of that one because otherwise, knowing me, I'll be clicking onto the damn wire that I don't need to click onto. So, right. Come on, fingers. Bring you to there. And then I'll take it from this side. Come on, fingers. Work. There we go. So, if you remember from over there, we used it here to there. I need to get rid of that. So, let's see if I can remember how to get all of these bloody pieces put in, because it's a pain in the backside. Because it is a simple. You see, I should never have said simple, should I? because that gives us that one, which is not the one I wanted. So it is that one. I didn't flip it round. I didn't flip it round. Right, there we go. So that gives us our first angle. The joy is anyway, I hope everyone's having fun. Right, gives us that angle out to there, and I want that angle to be halved, which is... Right, I need to put that one back in, don't I? Just to make sure I get... That was it, because... Great. There's me getting the bit. I need to go and have a look at my other angle. The problem is it's flipped round. Hello there, Wolfie. How are you doing? Right. When everything's flipped around, it's amazing the mess it makes of life. Yeah. That's it, because that one's... I didn't put that on the right angle. I put that on a 45, and it shouldn't have been on a 45. It should have been from there to there, and then from there back down. Right. And then I've just got to make sure I get it on the right side. Because if I don't get it on the right side... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Okay, so, yeah, jetpacking. Anyone who had that one on the bingo cards for falling because I jetpacked in the wrong direction, well done. You just got your bingo card done. Right. Tell you what, I will add some more of these panels going backwards, and that way I'm less likely, but not guaranteed, to not fall. I'll get rid of these ones. That's it. Yeah, so I clipped it onto the wrong piece. That was what that was. So I needed to draw the line to the right piece. So we're going in that direction. Do-do-do-do-do. Did I draw that in the right direction? No, it's this side. Gotta love those. Right. And from there... Come on, fingers. Definitely a bad day for fingers. And then I've still gone to it. It is that side. It's the other side. That one. It's this one. Right, I need to... Right. Attach. still done it the wrong way. It is the other side. You fucking idiot. Come on. There we go. There we go. So now... Yeah. That's the thing when you're building it on the opposite side. You think, oh, it's simple. I'll just do a quick redo. It'll go here. It'll be fine. Oh, stop dropping parts where they're not meant to go. Actually, no, I haven't got that in the right place. Son of a bitch. Now I need to do the half cut. Yeah, it's the one that goes in the gap. That was it. So... right. Not too far. That's the one for that one. That's the one for that one. Oh, I need to do the in-between of the... That's the thing, it's all circle-based, even when it's not circle-based. Come on, click in. No, no, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. No, that I already had two there. It's easier just to make a full fucking circle, isn't it? To get the angle right. I want that one, I need to turn it. Yeah, so it's the one that goes in there. So I need to turn it just that fraction. Which one is it that I need to do? Is it that one? Yeah, that's the one. That wasn't the one. And that's that one. So I've added the extra pieces, but not the pieces, because you can see that kind of a gap there. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to have to add all of the circle parts, aren't I? It's been a long day already, that's the problem. Do the prep work, it's that easy, yay. I'm going to have to clean up my thing there as well to get that in the right place. Since I made a mess, I'm going to go the easy option. Oh, and try not to worry about having an edge. Right. Wait a minute. Is that the one or that the one? Oh crap. Did I get that right? I sometimes drop a piece of short wall on the ones I've done. I think I just doubled up on something there. Right. No, I can see the right piece now. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Like I say, sometimes it's easier to just start again and go back to a circle. And I did. I just stuck that on the piece there. Get rid of this because I don't need that reminder of the fact I got that first one in the wrong place. Oh, now that's interesting because according to that, hang on. Oh, there you go. No, that is right. That's in the middle. Oh. Let's go and have a little look down to make sure. There you go. Yeah. Now I can get rid of that diagonal piece so there's no confusion over the things getting in the way. So again, this rear section is also going to be slightly recessed, like the sides will be. I can see the outer shell of this being around about 1,000 parts. Yeah, the front point, that's, hang on, I will head back to the front, because it's a case of wangling the dangle, so, I mean, the top and bottom bit, yeah, simple enough. I do need to drop a save, though. But at the front, it's the working out what angle to bring something down at, because that, as you can see, that lifts away from the shape. So I mean, if I do that and then bring in that, you can see that's too low. That's coming in too low for that. So I need to stretch the angle a bit more. Which is simple enough. We can stretch the angle. I mean, I had the simple demonstrator piece there to show how it's done, but that's at an exaggerated angle, obviously. Oops, no. So I mean, from there to there, now that barely looks like it's moved. I might have to move the, oh, you see, that is well inside the ship there. Half the distance, maybe? I mean, you can see it drops, it just doesn't drop. Oh shit, did I just delete a wire? I think I just deleted the wire. Right, give me the half wall. Well, that's because I'm possibly a bit of a sadist. It's going to take a lot of points, a lot of parts to get that point sorted. I mean, obviously, I'm overlapping these bottom pieces at the minute, just so I can work out the angle. I mean, at that far down the ship, that's coming in there, which, that's, considering how far I've travelled. I mean, obviously, you've got to imagine having the centre line of, like, where I've got the walls down the side. You have to imagine having the walls. In fact, if I can, if I do that, give me a half wall. Like so. And then I'll have the longer one there. So this is basically, I think it looks like we've kind of got the angle right. This also tells us what we need to do for the top. It's so, no, now we've dropped. Now we've actually dropped. Yeah, we've dropped. It's a long distance. There you go. So that's this point, which is, well, we're close to the back, but we're not at the back. But now you can see the bottom of that wall is distinctly showing underneath. Right. That's a gnat's testicle. It's a very long distance. The question is, how do we correct the angle? Because that's going to be the thing. Because the idea is, obviously, that once you've got this centerpiece, you can then bend the pieces up flat to merge into the other panels that you've got coming from the sides. And then in amongst all this, I've got to put a fucking cargo bay underneath the ship. But I can't do that until I've got this line sword. So the question is, too far back was too shallow, too far forward makes it too deep. So I need to move at a gnat's testicle back to the shallow side of things, because by the time we get down here, in fact, we can demonstrate that. There we go. So, if I now spin my camera view around, hopefully no one's got chronic vertigo or anything, because some of these camera views are quite nasty. Yeah, so you see, as we're approaching the rear of the ship, there we go. So, that's how much we're roughly out at the back of the ship. But that will translate as a definitive line as we move up. So, I'll drop it into camera mode. And pull back. I mean, you realise that even though it's not going to be a full-sized ship, it's still big. I'm obviously going to be concentrating on this being looking good from the outside and not necessarily having that much stuff on the inside due to the parts, although I know there are ways to make some of the parts a lot bigger and then slap them in, and which I'll probably end up having to do. So you can see it's so far back that now I'm in camera view and I've come back, the parts have despawned, which is a minor issue. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So the question is, when it comes to this, if we look at this piece here, so we go this way, it goes too steep an angle. We go this way, it's not steep enough. So, and it almost gives you the idea that you've got to be starting a little further forward, shall we say. So where the point is, here, yeah. I mean, admittedly, when you look at one of these, it's not a point, because each of the top half and the bottom half of the ship are divided by this line. So the piece that actually goes up the top will be starting a little higher up. Still going to cause a problem getting stuff put in, but it's going to be an interesting one. So I know I've got all those pieces lying down underneath the ship. I will. I will leave that line there and see what happens when we do a tweak adjust, because this is gonna get silly. I'm gonna put that there just in case I need it. Okay, triangles. Now, no, I need to do this the other side, don't I? So I go there. So. We can drop that in. So this is how much we're making the adjustment by. Okay. Remove that. So we've gone backwards. Ooh. Does it not like snapping onto... Hang on. It likes that. I don't think it likes the half walls. Half walls definitely are a problem in this, I've noticed. There we go. Right. There, we can go in at an angle. Because like I say, when we look at the very front of the ship, that is not in the right place at all. These are different thicknesses of metal. So, I'll tell you what, in fact, hang on. Let's put you there, take you out, let's use one of these. Yep, there you go. So that does fit spot on. That's good. So I'll take that back out, go back over to that. This also tells us where we need to put the piece for the top as well. Come on. Why won't you click? Hang on, let me remove you out of the way a moment. There we go. Right. Now, short wall. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the difference at this point in the ship. That's how much of a difference we've now got in the height from doing that change. It is ridiculously small. Everyone doing their good treasure hunting. Right, get rid of some of these, work our way back down. But like I say, at least this way we've got our setup, so we now know how to go from the top. Remove those pieces and that one. See, that is only just doing an apse testicle through there. So the key is when we get to this piece, which is the bit that's further back. So if I remove, I'll leave that one in place for a second. So there you go. You can only just see that. So we'll probably get away with that, but we won't get away with that. So that gives us our guide. And if we I'm going to come over the top a bit because it's easier to see when you're above as opposed to being below it. Right, I'm going to remove these just so people can see what we're doing. Now, it was one piece down, so we need to go for the wall. So we'll put one there, like so. Just as so we've got that in place. Now that is there. We're going to take that to there, then we can take that piece out. Obviously, we've got to do this on the other side, like so, and then like so. Now, I am just going to remove those, pop that there, move it along, there we go. We've got it. So we can take our pick of where to stick stuff, but we now have that angle meeting that angle at the same level. I can fill in some of these pieces. And it also means that once I work out what parts I'm going to be using, I'm then in a position to, I mean, I can probably use small walls there. I'll come back to that. It's going to get very messy up front. So I'll drop that back down there. Right. What we do need to do is, apart from the fact that it's night time, which is never a good scene, let's drop down to have a look. Right. So I've got to pull far enough back here so people can actually see it. So that's, now you can actually see that line. You can see the gaps as well where I haven't put stuff in yet, but you can see how that matches up. That piece comes down. I can literally just run 2 floor panels there. Top side that people are going to see more often. I'm going to have to see what I think. But it gives you the view. I can go up a bit. Helps if I also make sure I'm at a fairly level angle. Put daytime on it as well. So it's not bad. It's getting there. But getting that angle sorted makes a huge difference. An absolute huge difference. To tidy it up, we will go and do the same. We'll head back to the same piece further back. And we will find out. Right, there we are. So again, we're just going to remove some of those. I'm going to, oops, no, that's in the wrong place. I'm going to remove that. So I've got that flat. And we can copy that part. Definitely a bad day for my fingers today. Right. Then we need the short wall. And I'll put there. To there. That then reverses it. And we can there we go. I'm quite sure there's some builders out there who will probably do, well, not probably, but will do a more accurate build. But I also work a little faster. Take that one out. Come on. Lift into place. So and I can remove these pieces. Get rid of the wooden pieces that I don't need anymore, because obviously those pieces are just in the way now. Come on, fit. There we go. I'm going to get rid of the garage door. Oh. Get rid of the old, unrequired pieces of center wood. And there we have the, I mean, this is a more normal and straightforward piece. It's just getting the angle right. But you can't start with this piece. You've got to start with the side pieces, which, yeah, I don't know. I've probably already laid about 400 to 500 parts here. What is this black magic, says Mr. DG. Yes, indeed, what is this? What is this black magic that is being done? Yeah, it's it's disgraceful behaviour. It is the Twilight Zone, yes. So, or at least it's the Star Wars universe this time round. I mean, I can... I'll head back over here. I noticed that the light boxes I've got there is when I was going to put up a note and then realised that it completely messed with the thing. But there you go. Now we've got a much tidier outline. This is big as well. Yeah, it's a Star Destroyer, and it's going to go into a point in the front because I'm daft and decided, oh, that'll be straightforward. Let's have some fun with a fucking point at the start. Yeah. But obviously now we've got the sides in place. We know the angle for the bottom is. We can duplicate the top angle once we've positioned it. If I come around the front here, so... And we've got our position, so we know that this is where we're going to be rising it up. So again, it'll be from this piece up for the thing, because it's going to come in. If I can get this, it doesn't like that curvy bit, doesn't it? Oh, it does not like that curvy bit. Will it let me put it across now? It will not let me put it across now. But what we can do is look at getting the edge for the next piece. Because obviously only one of these is twisted. So for example, if I put in... Come on, there we go. Then we can get in our... I mean, technically I could actually do this down the other end without having to start a new thing, because it runs down the whole side of the thing. But hey, you know, it's fun, according to someone. Right, and then we need... So we're going to be going down one and up one. So that one there is there, and this gives us our upper edge. Oh no, there's a gap. What am I possibly going to do with the gap? Well, like I say, we're pushing to the other side. So, I might, will I raise it? I don't know. Let me grab one of these. because how far is that going to be? Because it is closer to 3 tall, isn't it? But I want it to be slightly recessed. I could still recess it if I made it 3. I might make it 3. Because it would still sit with the thing. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think 2 or 3? It is scaled down, so you obviously don't want it too tall. Angle points are very fun. Although I haven't... First time ever doing this particular type of ship. I had thought about possibly going for the light grey colour for it, but then thought, it doesn't make too much difference. So, and strangely enough, Star Destroyers come in different colours. All from like a very bright white to a very dark grey, so. And I have thought for the next Star Trek build I was going to do, it would be nice if somebody had another ship nearby, so we could make it look like they were firing at each other. Just because I'm a sadist. Just saying. So, right, if I take that out, make that a flat edge, and yes, because it'll be there. Put that to there. Right. So if I technically, oh no, that would have pushed it out. Yeah. Just for testing, I could have actually just have put the thing in. Are you building the warbird? I tried building a warbird, it blew up. God, the wiring. Fuck. That was difficult. Right, I do need... Because I need the... That is small. Let's go click this over here so I've got a spare. So if let's now just do a quick size check. You see, it would work with 3. It would only be set in a little way, wouldn't it? It would have to be recessed quite a lot more for the 2. Yeah. Because like I say, it would only be recessed about that far in, using 3, whereas 2, it would probably be that far in. So I don't know how much of a lip would look good. Oh, I tend not to use light boxes actually. Strangely enough, it's not something I do. I stick to like, known micro adjusts, like little tweaks like that. I don't do the really tiny adjusts. I mean, Rasterlight, holy shit. He was doing this thing and I'm looking at it and you mentioned black magic. Holy crap. And I'm like, no, what did you just do? It's like fucking rabbit out of a hat job. Yeah, that was difficult. But I mean, getting it the right way up, far enough in, that's easy enough. I can do that. Yeah, I've noticed though, at the minute, that if you look there, the wire is in the piece of wood on the left, of the cursor point, but the snap point is showing to the right of the center point, because ever since the beacons update, all the snap points moved again. So thank you very much, Hello Games, for changing things and making a mess and fluffing stuff up. Yeah, so I think three would work reasonably well. I'd be able to do the give me a fraction more space for the central bay. The idea is that people are going to land inside it by going underneath it. If I can get that one to work again. That's going to be fun. Next up. So let's see, we need a center point, which is going to be that one, and we need to move it in. Halfway down. One thing I definitely have an issue with is trying to come down there, but that's when I tend to use the crawl in the vertical once I've got it in place. So, what I will do, I'm going to remove that wire out of the way. Oh, this is going to be fun. Give me you. It sounds like a plan. It does sound like a plan. Because, like I say, I haven't really had anything to do with the light boxes, other than using them for stuff, like lighting. Although I have to say, oh my god, what have they done to light boxes? They look horrible. They don't even light up now properly. Right, hang on, I'm gonna... No, it'd be a micro meetup. That's what that is. It's a micro meetup. Now, I need to move it in by... Actually, I didn't need to put that wire in yet. I'm going to move it by a... Yeah. Actually, being able to drop some light floors into the side recess would probably look really cool. Mainly because of... Well, just look at one of the ships. You know, that's the thing. Some of these ships have like really cool bits. Now, if I'm doing 3, that would only make it that small gap. Let's try the full. I mean, some people probably would curse my building techniques, but do you think it's a problem? Right. Move those out of the way so I've got a little room. Got that there. This is definitely not the cleanest way to be getting certain things done, but if you're wanting certain things to happen, it's crazy. Come on, give me the snap point, you twit. There it is. So, what happens when you do that? Well, this happens. One neat floor placement. Now, where's my little floor? Move that out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Come on. Yeah, I need to move that floor out of the way. There we go. So. And we can... And there we go. One recess. I think 3 works quite nicely. Like I say, not the tidiest way to do it, but it works. And I mean, it matches in, doesn't stick out underneath. But 3 it is. How does it look underneath? Well, the easiest way to do that is go, ah, and jump up. I'll go into camera mode. Like I say, that's as far as I've got with the that piece there so far. I haven't got the cargo piece, the docking bay, inserted, and obviously there's still some build clip pieces around. Getting the angle was definitely... side pieces stick through the floor. No, they don't. No, I mean, if I come back up, there's no... It doesn't stick through. Which is why I think that 3 was better, because if it was 2, it would have to be recessed further, because otherwise it would, like you say, stick through the floor. Shit, what was it I did? I did something, and that's exactly what happened, and it took me a while to get, like, a proper adjustment done on the thing. But, yeah, it fits in quite nicely, without mucking up. Like I say, the back end's fun after getting the bit done there. If I sweep up, hang on, head towards the back. Because after getting the, I'll just go into here. So this is how much the back's going to stick out. Because obviously the back end recesses as well. So you can imagine you've got the... Get rid of that. So you've got like the stretched diamond shape for the back. You're going to have however many engines I can be bothered to put in. I mean, I've still got that wire, which was an original... That was just a temporary guide. Not actually that far out. That diagonal wire was free placed as a guide. So it's not in line with the floor panels, but it's quite close. So I was quite pleased. Obviously that's my centerpiece, which shows down there. So that there, it's going to go up there. We're going to have quite the angle of dangle. Well, this is the thing. I started with the outer edge here, and it's the same for when it comes to doing the piece that goes out the back. And then once I'd done that, I then did the angle work at the front, which is what these are for, when I was checking to make sure everything ran through the correct piece. I mean, it's still a bit hit and miss in places because I've got pieces missing, and the front end's going to be a nightmare because I'm going to have to use an array of different pieces. Obviously, this piece isn't straight with the others just because it's linked with that and that for doing the thing. And so that piece, and now if I go back up to the top and go to the front of the ship, now that I've decided that it's 3 that it's going to be 3. I can, like so. So we've got 1, 2, 3. It's going to be that top edge there. And this is the fun bit. It's going to go from here to here. So if I need to get this wire in the right place, don't I? There, right. Here we go. There. So what we now need, we stick one in there. We go for the half wall, which I've got one there. And the bottom of this you can see that's coming up there. It's going to go to the bottom of that. I always do random clicks of stuff and end up with planks and floor panels all over the bloody place. But this is going to be the leading edge on top. Oh, see, I've got quite a lot to sort out with the tower. There you go. Stick one more there so it knows where it is. One down there. So that gives you an idea of that bit. I will remove that there. Then we go in and we will get the I also need to do this on the other side so it all fits. Otherwise I have the lovely problem of trying to remember what bloody angle I'm doing stuff at. Right. So we're going to go to there and down to there. Snip that one out. And we can snip that and that. Yeah, I did that the wrong way around, didn't I? You're a silly person. Because I need somewhere to snap the damn thing to, so that always helps. Why did that not copy the part? That was annoying. And then get ourselves in a position where this actually works. I mean, it does give us quite the open space inside, but there we go. We now have part the leading edge on top. And because it's going to meet on a array, I need to stick another one in there just to make it look neater. I mean, it's never going to be 100% perfect, but you know, trying to get the outer edges perfectly straight, I think, is Difficult but important. We'll get there. Side bits done, just to give it an idea of what it looks like. One more set. So I mean that gives you an idea to that. It is recessed. I think some lighting would actually help it make it stand out as being recessed. So maybe a couple of inserted floor panels, lights. At least the lit floor panels are a damn sight better than some of the other bits that are out there at the minute. Because I mean, they don't really show up that well. Just out of interest, what does the dark blue look like? Just drop that onto the teleporter so I've got some power. Yeah, I mean, look how dark that looks. They've destroyed the luminosity of light panels. I mean, that's a standard one with no colour. That's a red one. And then, I mean, look at that. That's dark blue. That one apparently didn't have a colour, or it shouldn't have had a colour. I'll just stick another one in just to make. No, get off. There we go. So there. So that one's got colour to it. The red one actually looks better when there's no power going to it. There's hardly any light thrown off by them, and I think they've really ruined the lighting effect. And it's not just the floor panels. It's also, because I've got some of the things down there. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get rid of I'll get rid of these light panels, because yeah, so if I jump up here and activate the switch, I mean, that's every colour of light panel. Every colour of light panel. What do you notice? Light blue, standard and light blue are about the best thing. So your top, on this light box that you're looking at the minute, the three on the top row to the left, uncoloured. The first one, you know, in the thing, I mean, I'll go into thing here. So that one that I'm pointing at, that is actually light blue. That one's a light blue. At least I think that's the light blue. These are the standard ones. Then all of these are these three here are actually different colours. I mean, I just do not know. New approach. I mean, the colouring really has been arsed up. There you go. I turn it off. So yeah, there you go. You got two purples. Race initiators. Ooh, yes. Actually, I was thinking of using a couple of them to signify the force field that you get when, you know, around the shuttle bay thing. Yeah, I still have problems trying to wire glitch an oversized piece to another glitch point. I can oversize and glitch it in, but if I have to glitch it to a glitch point, I have issues with that for some reason. But yeah, I mean, the light boxes and the light floors actually have more colour to them, even though they look pretty poor, when they're not powered and they're not lit. But as soon as you add power to them, that happens. Who thought that was a good idea? You know, I mean, I'd be looking at the fact that somebody needs a good fucking kick up the arse at Hello Games, because that is an absolute bollocks, to put it simply. Yeah, you've got one job. You're going to make an adjustment to the textures of light boxes. 4 weeks later, you get this. I mean, no. That's just sad. But anyway, enough of me moaning about things. So, this has been the first adventure into the Star Destroyer. And obviously, that's quite a bit of planning, getting stuff done. Garage build. I think I did. Was that the one that involved making cars or buses or things? Because it was one of the Beeble challenges in Beeb's thing, I think, wasn't it? Oh, just the garage. No, I must have missed that one then. I know there was someone doing garage doors. Definitely somebody doing garage doors, but that was just the garage doors, not the actual garage itself. So, yeah. But that sounds like it's something I'm going to have to look at and see what I can do. Definitely. But yeah, I am going to leave it there for today. Like I say, I was going to do this on Thursday, but things got turned around a little bit. We are looking at a base tour at some point, if the stuff's ready. Also, we might end up visiting Mr. DG again if he's got something else. Possibly even, let's go and have a look at the garage build. So, thanks everyone for being here. Hope you've not fallen asleep too many times while I've been doing this. And I will catch everyone again soon. Thanks very much, and see you again soon. Bye for now.